All right. Hello. Happy, for those in Virginia, cold, snowy, rainy Sunday evening. I know we have some people in the West Coast, and I'm envious, though it has been a nice snow day in Virginia. So I see some new people joining this week, which is awesome. Makes me super happy. For those who don't know me, my name is Holly, and I'm just super excited to share the practice with you today. So, hey Yog Dog. We are going to focus on hip mobility and low back pain today. That's what I've prepared, but if there's anything in addition that would like attention, feel free to drop that in the chat. And even if you don't have any requests, just like Ingrid and Leanne did, type in the chat, say hey. It helps us to feel, me, hopefully you too, to feel more connected in this virtual space together. So for practice today, there's no props that you need. However, if you have like a blanket or a pillow, or even some like pillows or books that you can use as blocks, I invite you to get those things as well. Yeah. So as people are logging on and getting settled, you can find your way to a comfortable position on your back. We're actually going to start resting on our backs today. So find your way to your back, and you can choose if you would like your soles of the feet on the floor and your knees bent pointing upright, or if you want your legs straight out in front of you. So just take a few moments to adjust your body as you start to settle here. And you can gently rest your eyes, or you can just soften your gaze, maybe at the tip of your nose. And notice where your body meets the earth. And let your body feel the support of the earth beneath you. Notice the sounds around you, maybe the sound of the icy rain hitting the outside of your home. Noticing any sounds inside your home. Noticing the breath. And where in the body you feel the breath as it moves in and as it flows out. Now gradually lengthen each inhale and each exhale. So every inhale becomes a little bit longer, and every exhale becomes a little bit longer. The next inhale, even a little bit longer. And the next exhale, even a little bit longer. And continue to breathe like this, slowly deepening each breath. It's almost like the breath is a wave. A teacher I heard this week calls this breath wave breath. Letting each breath get a little bit bigger as it flows in and as it flows out. And we're calming our nervous system as we do that. So by slowing down the breath, we're helping to slow down the nervous system, slow down the body's response to stress, softening tension in the body. And slowing down is the intention that I'd like to set for us all this week. I've found that I like to rush a lot. I like to jump from one thing to the next. I feel like I'm accomplishing a lot. It makes me feel good to do that. However, when I slow down, I'm able to do things better. I'm strengthening my ability, my presence in each moment unfolding. And I'm not frantically moving through life. I'm present for my life as it's happening moment to moment. Inhale. And exhale. So this wave breath has been a reminder for me throughout the week when I feel that tension rising in the body and the mind, to simply slow down and to notice what lessons might be here for me, what might be in this moment if I'm present with it, if I slow down and lean into it. Inhale and exhale. I invite you now to set an intention for your practice today. Maybe it is slowing down, or maybe it's something else. Whatever that intention is, please repeat it in your mind 3 times. And inhale. As you're ready, curl your knees into your chest and bring your hands to your kneecaps. And now your legs, let your legs be like Jello. Like the legs aren't putting any resistance. They're just resting into the hips. My hands are on my knees and my arms are gonna become in control of my legs and move my legs around in all kinds of directions. So the hands and the arms are the puppet master. The legs become the puppets. And just move it around. Get lots of different motions in here. Speed it up and slow it down. This is a really great way to start to get into the SI joint. Also giving that low back a little massage. And then bring your arms to a cactus T and your shins parallel to the sky. Now start to think about, intending the feet to reach towards the sky, straightening the legs. It's likely that your hamstrings might be too tight to straighten the legs all the way. That is normal. That is perfectly human. The intention isn't for straight legs, but instead to focus on engaging the core. Feel your low back get really heavy. Now take a moment to pedal the feet back and forth. Maybe move them in circles in one direction, in the opposite direction. Curl the toes, flex them, just getting some movement in your feet. Good. Now feel your feet engage, feel your thighs engage, feel your core engage. And then as slowly as you can, slowing down to find strength, lower your heels towards the earth beneath you as slow as you can go. And you might hear a shaking in my voice. When you get to that shaky place, slow it down here, breathe in and breathe out. And then curl your knees into your chest. Bring the hands to the kneecaps and wiggle it around. So it's a great core strengthener right there, which will help a lot with keeping preventing low back pain and keeping our pelvis in alignment to protect our hips. Now bring your arms to a cactus T, your shins parallel to the sky. Feel the low back ground down, the core engage on the earth, and drop both knees to your right side as you gaze over your left shoulder. I want you to take 5 breaths here. In and out. Notice what you're noticing here. And let yourself be with it as you breathe. Now, as you're ready, bring your knees back to center. Feel your low back ground down on the earth. And then drop both knees to the left side as you gaze over your right shoulder. And breathe here again. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. And then straighten the legs towards the sky. We're gonna move through that same sequence one more time so you can pedal out the feet. Wiggle around the ankles, the toes. And then feel the feet engage, the thighs engage, the core engage. Inhale here. And then as slowly as you can go, lower your heels towards the earth. Slow and steady. And when you get to that shaky point, take 2 big breaths this time. Inhale. Exhale, I'm really shaky. One more inhale. And exhale, curl it in. Knees to the chest, hands to the kneecaps. Wiggle it out. Now bring your arms to a cactus T, shins parallel to the sky. Feel the core engage, the low back ground down. And drop both knees to the right side. This time, gaze over your left shoulder. And we're gonna slow it down even here. So now we're gonna take 10 breaths here. And notice what comes up for you when you slow down. Is there resistance? Are you like, oh, come on, Holly, let's go. Let's move faster. Let's get some vinyasas in. Is your mind racing? Is your body jumping? Or can you allow yourself to soften into it? Maybe a little of both. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Feel the core engage, low back, roots down on the earth. Breathe in. And breathe out, drop both knees to the left side. Gaze over the right shoulder this time. And we're gonna take 10 breaths here. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. And bring your hands to your kneecaps. Take any little wiggles that your body has. And now I want you to wrap your arms around your legs. Gently rock and roll from side to side, giving that low back a little massage. And then curl your chin in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Squeeze really, really tight. And you can start to rock and roll a little. Maybe you rock and roll to a seat, or maybe you push your way up to a seat. However your body wants to get there. Hey Bree, hey Alyssa. Find your way to a seat. And for your seat this time, I want you to start with your soles of the feet on the floor and your knees pointing upwards. And then wave your hands at me in the air like you just don't care. And then bring your hands behind your back. So fingertips are pointing in towards the body. Ground down through your palms. Lift your chest up. Inhale here. And then exhale, drop both knees to the right side and just gently look over the left shoulder. So we're getting some good internal and external rotation in the hips here. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. And then exhale, drop both knees to the left side, gaze over the right shoulder, and breathe. It's nice to hear the sound of the rain in the background, the icy rain. And then inhale, bring it back to center. Drop both knees to the right side, and then we're gonna do something a little different. So I want you to walk your hands so they come to either side of your left leg, your right leg, and your left leg juts out behind you. So this is an exaggeration of the pose we were just doing. It's in the direction towards a pigeon pose, but it's not quite there. And it's a really good way to get that internal and external rotation in both of the hips. So if this is too much for your hips, which it might be, grab a pillow or a block and you can bring it under the right hip, like so, or you can just sit where you are. The more parallel that front shin is towards the mat, the deeper the hip stretch is going to be. Now I want you to bring the left hand somewhere on like that calf and your right hand on the thigh. And we're going to get some dynamic work in here. So I want you to feel your hands pushing down onto your leg. But your leg is like not trying to let you push down. So the hands are pushing the knee down, pushing the knee down. And now I want you to think about your knee pushing up into your hands. And let's do that one more time, about like 5 counts each way. So hands are pushing that knee towards the earth. And now the knee is pushing the hands up towards the sky. And then we can soften. Now bring your hands to the earth. And this next part can get a little bit tricky. There's no place you have to go with this. Just honor where your body's at. So if your body's like, no thank you, Holly, listen to your body. I'm gonna bring my hands behind me. And I'm gonna keep my left foot on the floor and just start to lift that left knee up and lower that left knee down. Doesn't matter how high or low it goes, just little movements. If you wanna stay with the hands like this, that's okay too. I just think you have a little more space with the left hand behind the back. So we're gonna hang out working on this movement or just staying with stillness for 5 breaths. Good, now bring both knees towards the sky. Take a big breath in. And exhale, let it out. And now drop both legs to the left side. And we're gonna do that same thing on the opposite side. So I'm gonna bring my hands to frame the left leg. I'm actually gonna bring my left shin a little bit more parallel to the mat to get a little deeper in the hips. Your hips might not be ready for that, so you can pull that, that ankle in if you need. Again, I invite, not throwing your props around, but I invite you to grab a prop, a pillow perhaps, and bring it under your hip if you need. And then bring the hands to the left leg. And just sitting here, like, whew, that's good. So you can think about pushing down with the hands for 5 counts, pushing down into the left leg, soft, and the shoulders down the back. And then think about the knee pushing up into the hands for about 5 counts. And then one more each side, hands pushing down, knee pushing up. And then softening. Then you can bring the hands back behind the back. And now think about lifting your right knee up and lowering it down. Notice how different the two sides likely feel. Up and down. Up and down. We're going to take about 5 more breaths here. Great, now bring both knees back towards the center, and then bring the soles of the feet together and let your knees fall out. Bring your hands to your ankles and to your feet and just take a moment to massage your ankles, massage your feet, really dig into the feet. Good, now with the hands at the ankles, feel your sits bones ground down, your spine lengthen, soften your shoulders down the back. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And you can stay right here. This might be more than enough on your hips. And the heels don't have to be really close into the body. You can make a pretty wide diamond. Think about feeling your sits bones get heavy. Feel your head reach towards the sky, and then scrape your forearms along your rib cage as you bow forward and open up the soles of the feet like you're reading a storybook. Hello, story of all the places Holly has gone. How cool. That's what I think about every time I'm in this pose. It's called cobbler's pose, but it's kind of like a story time to me. And then you can relax your head, relax your neck. And just take big breaths here. Maybe try to activate that wave breath, slowly lengthening each breath here. Notice any tension, any resistance that might be arising. Can you just observe that without judgment? Now slowly lift your torso up. You can bring your knees towards one another again. And I want you to find your way to a tabletop position, however you want to get there. So you can move your legs out to the side and get there. If you want to get a little more movement in, you can cross the legs and roll onto your hands and knees. Just find your way to a table. Bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And spread your fingers wide. And just take some hip circles here. So move your sits bones back, to the left, feels nice in the glutes as well, to the middle, to the right, come back up and around. And we're gonna move in this direction 5 times. I normally say 4. Actually, let's keep it 4 times, but a little bit slower. Notice an urge to speed up in any places. Can you slow down there instead? And then reverse it, move it around in the opposite direction 4 times. Great. Now find your way to a tabletop position again. Ground down through the knuckles and the fingers. And inhale, drop your belly, gaze up towards the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. And then exhale, point the toes, arch the spine, gaze in towards your navel, breathe in, and breathe out. Inhale, drop your belly, curl your toes under, and then lift your knees up and send your sits bones towards the sky. And so start to lower your heels towards the mat. So we can come to a downward facing dog here. You can gently pedal out the feet from side to side. Move the hips to one side and the other. Take any little wiggles that your body wants here. And then be still, or just stay with a little bit of movement for 5 more breaths. And if it's too much, you can come to child's pose or any pose that feels more supportive for you. Always listening to your body above all else. Shift the weight to the left leg. You can pick your right foot up. If it's available, you can bend the right knee, open the hips, maybe take some circles clockwise with the knee. Maybe take some circles counterclockwise. And then I invite everyone to straighten that right leg if it's bent. Drag the right toes along the midline of the mat, and then lower your left knee onto the earth. Uncurl your back toes. Feel the feet engage, feel the thighs engage. Start to shift your weight forward, so we're getting into that left hip flexor. And then keep the core engaged, start to lift your torso up. You can bring the hands to the top of the thigh, deep in the bend in the front knee. Keep the core engaged, soften your shoulders and breathe. Now you can ground the left hand onto the mat and reach your right arm up towards the sky. You can stay here. You can roll out onto the outer edge of the right foot, opening up the hips a little. The right hand can come to the right leg, maybe pushing that hand into the knee, and the knee pushes back into the hand, so there's a little bit of dynamic tension. Maybe you gaze over that right shoulder down at the earth, or maybe that right arm wants to reach up and back, opening up the chest a little. You find your space here and breathe. Good, and then as you're ready, bring your hand to frame your right leg, and then start to straighten your right leg. Send your sits bones back. And then you can peel your toes off of the mat. Windshield wiper your right foot from side to side. Luna's coming to say hello. I think she's actually coming in to ask me for dinner. Good, and then you can soften forward over that right leg. She's not interested because I'm not feeding her. Good, and then just breathe here in this runner stretch, this half Hanumanasana. Let the head become heavy. Let the torso become heavy. And then I want you to shift the weight forward, heel toe the right foot out to the side and bring it back to meet the right knee to meet the left. So we're in a tabletop position again. Drop your belly, curl your toes under, gaze up towards the sky, and then straighten your legs. Send your sits bones to the sky and lower your heels towards the mat, downward facing dog again. Inhale and exhale. One more big breath in and big breath out. You can pick your left leg up behind you, bend your left knee, open the hips, take 3 circles clockwise or not, 3 circles counterclockwise or not. Straighten the left leg, drag the left toes along the midline and work towards bringing it between the hands. You might have to take a couple steps to get there. That's human. Uncurl the back toes, feel the feet root down. Feel the thighs rotate inwards. You can start to come onto your fingertips, engage your core. Maybe lift your torso up. You can bring your hands to the top of the left knee. Soften the shoulders down the back. Keep the feet, thighs, and core engaged deep in the bend in the left knee. Great, now you can bring your hands to frame the left leg. Ground down through the right palm. You can reach the left arm towards the sky, or you can keep it on the left knee. You can stay here. You can come onto the outer edge of the left knee. Let that knee fall outward. You can find some dynamic tension between the hand and the knee. The arm can just reach towards the sky or behind the back. And then slowly lift the knee back up. Bring the left hand outside of the left foot. And now start to straighten the left leg as you send your sits bones back. You can peel your toes off of the mat. You can windshield wiper the foot from side to side. And you can just soften as you bow forward over that left leg. Relax the shoulders and lengthen the breath. Now you can deepen the bend in the front knee, heel toe the left foot out to the side, and then bring the left knee to meet the right. Now widen the knees and send the sits bones back. Child's pose. Breathe. You can remain resting with the arms extended in front of you, Or you can start to walk the hands to the right side. Keep the left sits bones grounded, getting a nice stretch along the left side body. Now walk your hands through center and over to the left side. Keep the right sits bones grounded. And breathe as you feel that stretch along the right side. And then you can bring it back to center when you're ready. And exhale. Now slowly walk your hands in towards your knees. Lift your torso up. Fingertips to the earth. You can bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Maybe right fingertips stay on the mat, or maybe you lift your right arm up to the side and wiggle your fingers. And then you can bring your head back to center. Bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Left fingertips can stay on the earth, or you can lift the left arm up and out to the side, wiggle your fingers. And then bring it back to center. Breathe in and breathe out. Luna says hello. And then you can straighten your legs out in front of you. And take a moment, you can shake out your legs, you can karate chop them. And then bend your left knee and bring your hands to your left shin and pull your left knee in. So feel your right foot and your right leg active and engaged. Feel your sits bones ground, your head reach up high towards the sky. And then you can give the left knee a hug with the right arm. And then gently twist to the right side. I mean the left side. I'm so sorry. Bring the left hand behind the back. And then instead of gazing over the left shoulder like is often cued, I want you to just gaze to the left side. So it should be a gentle twist, nothing too intense. And breathe. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, bring it to center. And let the left knee fall out to the left side. I want you to keep your right foot and your right thigh engaged. And then bring your right hand behind your back. So the right fingertips are resting behind you. Luna's like, what are you doing? Your right hand comes behind the back. The left hand reaches towards the sky. I swear I don't know my left and right. Feel the sits bones ground down. Feel your spine lengthen. Inhale here. And then exhale, bring the left hand somewhere outside of that right leg. So maybe it's outside of the right knee, the right calf, or the right foot. That left hand is reaching back behind you. So this is a great way to find some length in the low back, help to decompress some of that tension. Relax the head, relax the neck. If there needs to be a little bend in that right leg, that's totally fine. And then you can gently massage the right leg as you walk your hands up. And now we're just gonna do a regular forward fold over that right leg. So feel the sits bones ground, feel the right leg and foot engage, then just bow forward, let the torso become heavy, the head become heavy. I like to think about getting heavy and melting into the right leg instead of reaching out. Keeping the right foot and leg engaged. And then gently massage that leg as you walk your hands up. You can straighten out the left leg, you can give it a shake, you can karate chop, and then bend the right knee. Feel that left foot and leg active and engaged. Bring the hands to the right shin, the sits bones ground, spine lengthen, shoulders soften. Now give yourself a hug, so wrap that left arm around the right shin, twist gently from the core to the right side, the right hand comes behind the back. So not pulling here, you're not twisting too hard, just gaze over to the right side and breathe. And then inhale. When you're ready, back to center. Drop the right knee out to the side. The left fingertips come behind the back. The right arm reaches up high towards the sky. Left foot and thigh are engaged. And then extend forward. The right hand can come outside of the right knee or shin. The left knee, shin, or foot. Good grief. And breathe. Feeling that lengthening on the low back. And then gently massage the left leg as you walk your hands up. Bring the hands to frame the left leg. Sits bones ground down, spine lengthens. Inhale here. And then soften, let things become heavy as you bow forward. Relax the head, relax the neck. Find the breath. And then you can massage that left leg, walk your hands up, straighten out both legs, take a moment, give it a shake, maybe karate chop again, and then bend the knees. Bring the hands to the tops of the kneecaps, feel your spine lengthen, shoulder blades soften, reach your arms out in front of you, and then truly, as slow as you can go, lower all the way down on to your back. Nice and slow. It's really hard, engages the core. Keep it slow. Soften and breathe. Soften the shoulders. Slowly lower all the way down. And then curl your knees into your chest again. Bring your hands to your kneecaps and wiggle it all around. Now bring your hands to your left shin and straighten your right leg out. Bring it to the earth. So the right leg is straight, engaged, and flat on the earth. Right foot is engaged, right thigh is engaged. Pull that left knee in towards the left armpit. So finding a lot of length in that right hip flexor here. And then you can bring your right hand to the top of the left knee, the left arm to a cactus T, cross the left leg over to the right side and gaze over your left shoulder. So this is great twist, great for digestion, great for the low back, also big chest opener. If it's too much, you can bring a pillow under that left knee. A little extra support, bringing the ground closer to you. And then as you're ready, curl the knees into the chest, hands to your kneecaps, wiggle it around. And then hands to the right shin, straighten the left leg as you bring it to the mat. Left foot and thigh are engaged. Pull the right knee in towards the right armpit. I'm getting a few ankle rolls on the right side. And then bring the left hand to the right knee, right arm to a cactus T, and then cross the right leg over to the left side as you gaze over the right shoulder. And adjust as needed on this side, so you can bring a pillow under that right knee if you need. And just let yourself be here. Let yourself breathe. And as you're ready, you can bring the knees back into the chest and take any last movements that your body likes. So maybe just like we began, using the arms to direct the legs, getting into the SI joints again, giving that low back a massage. Maybe grabbing the outer edges of the feet, taking a happy baby or any baby variations. And then as you are ready, slowly find your way to a comfortable resting pose. So maybe that includes grabbing your blanket or your fuzzy socks. You can stretch the legs straight out in front of you. You can drape a blanket over you. You can bend the knees with soles of feet on the floor if the low back is still tight. You can bring a pillow under the knees if they're straight out. If the legs are straight out in front of you, that can help take some low back tension away. So any last movements that you need, and just settle into a comfortable resting position. And slowly start to lengthen each inhale and each exhale again. Allow each inhale to become a little bit longer. And each exhale to become a little bit longer. Returning to that wave breath. And you may continue to practice this wave breath, or you can release any control over the breath and surrender to the intuition of the natural breath as it flows in and as it flows out. Slow down and find strength. Slow down. Meet yourself with grace. Slow down. Open your eyes and feel proud. Slow down. Soak in the here and now. You can remain resting exactly where you are, surrendering to stillness. Or you can slowly deepen the breath and begin to invite movement back into the body. Perhaps wiggling the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. You can stay still. You can stretch the arms and legs in opposite directions. You can honor whatever your body needs here. Maybe stay here, or maybe find your way to a comfortable seat. And take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Scan your body from head to toe. And just take a moment to notice all that is present for you here. And if it's any different from when we began. And know that with each and every breath, you can slow down. And you can drop in, find presence and strength through each and every moment as your life unfolds before you. Place the palms at the center of your chest. Take a moment to feel really proud of yourself for slowing down and finding this space, this strength within you, and sharing and holding this space for one another. Let's take one more breath together to close in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you can slowly open your eyes as you return to this space. Thank you all so very much for showing up and practicing with me this Sunday evening. We'll keep it going every Sunday at 6 p.m. Log on. You can hit the live tab on my website to sign up for next week if you haven't already. Share with your loved ones across the globe, really, wherever, to join you. And I will see you all next week. Yay, Leanne, thanks so much for being here. I'm sorry Luna left us again. But I was glad she came back for a little. She's been getting a little too independent for my liking. Anna, so glad you're here again. Thank you so much. Hope that felt good for hips and low back. That's a practice I've been doing this week that's been helping me a lot. So I hope it helped your body feel supported. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. You have my email as well if anything else should arise. And I will see you guys next week. Alyssa, Ingrid, Bree, Og, thanks for being here. I know we had a couple more people as well. Oh, good, Leanne, I'm so glad. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next week. Good, glad we have happy hips. Thanks all.